Hello guys, let's give a couple of seconds to start. There are around 97 participants who have confirmed. So give a couple of seconds for everyone to join. Yeah, we are almost there. So let's jump into the subject. So in today's demo session, we'll cover only four things: foundations, modern realities like the impact of AI, career roadmap and salary, and the skill roadmap. What it takes to reach there. Okay. So before we jump into the subject, let me tell you about myself a little bit. Let me just do a full screen on this. Yeah, so I'm Nirmal. I have around 10 plus years of building and testing data systems. That includes data pipeline and ETL. And I have also around 15 years of experience on quality assurance and testing. And I have written many open sources, and a couple of them are very famous. I have also worked on various microservices and API data platforms, which is relevant to data as well. Okay, so let me shut up here because that's too much about me. Let's get into the subject. So let's jump into the foundations. So what is data engineering? You build pipeline so the data flows clean, fast, and reliable. It is exactly like the city plumbing job for a factory. So what that means, on my left towards this one, you see there are various data sources, and on my right there is data warehouse. So the data flows from left to right. That's all is data engineering. That's it. There's nothing beyond that. So in the very high level, you are moving data from source to target, and you are doing a little bit of transformation here according to the business, what it needs, so that the data goes and fits here in a specific format. That's all the data engineering is. But when you get into details, you have to set up data pipelines, your security, and a lot of things around it. So that there comes development, testing, DevOps, DevSecOps, and NFR testers, so on and so forth. So let's go one by one. So I'll keep the slides very minimal, and overall session also I'll make sure it finishes in less than half an hour. Max half an hour will take, and as and when you can stop me for any questions around it, or in the WhatsApp community you can put your questions, so I'll address them later towards the end of the session. Sounds good? Thank you. Okay, data analyst versus data engineers. These terms creates a lot of confusion in the market. So what exactly is data analyst and what is data engineer? So if you see in a layman term, on my left, where the transformation happening, bringing the raw data into the target platform, that is the job of a data engineer. So data engineer goes and makes his hands dirty and does all this plumbing work, the pipeline setup, and finally the data arrives in the target platform. And from there, the data analyst work starts. So data analyst goes and queries this target data platform warehouse and brings in insightful and meaningful data and serves it to business. That's all. So what that means is, so you have data coming from various sources: apps, IoT devices, logs, and various SaaS platforms, and so on and so forth. And there is plot files, database, SQL, no database, structured, semi-structured, unstructured, so on and so forth. Okay, so those data are cleaned and transported to a target platform by a data engineer. Then data analyst can draw insights from it. Okay, sounds clear? Okay, the next one is, what is a batch and what is a stream? So what you mean by batch processing and what do you mean by stream processing? It is very simple. So if you think about a bucket of water and a river. So here, if you think a bucket of water, you are dealing in a batch, in a bulk. So you are dealing with that bucket of water, that bunch of data in bulk, in a batch. It's called batch processing. But if you are dealing by event, record by record, so stream of data flows and you are dealing, that is called stream processing. Coming to the next slide, testing a streaming system. Data streaming system testing or doing a quality assurance is a tricky job. So what does it mean is, if there is a moving water, how difficult it is to catch that and inspect that compared to a bucket of water which is still. Okay, so you have a stream of events, a stream of data, stream of records flowing from left to right, and you have to test that. That is where the data stream tester's responsibility comes into play. What is data quality? So modern AI systems like LLMs and any other AI systems, they heavily rely on data. So what does that mean? If there is garbage in, then there will be garbage out. If they are fed on bad data, or that's what we call is garbage data, and it will also output garbage. So what does it mean is, a model is weak. A weak model, when we say that this model is weak, that model is strong, it literally means the data it was fed in was messy data. But if the high quality data is fed into a model and the model is trained on that, then the model becomes strong and reliable. So imagine the importance of data there. Then in the data pipeline setting up, there is a role of DevOps and DevSecOps. The SEC is security. So what does that mean? Data is not just secured at the target platform. That doesn't mean that you secure the target platform because source is already secured and that's all, your job is done. No, not that. Data has to be secured at every stage. While taking off, while in flight, and after is grounded as well. So at every stage, data has to be secure. So from DevOps, there is a special skill set has come which is called DevSecOps. So Dev security operations. So they address the security aspects of it, which that is still part of DevOps, but there is a special skills required for that. The job ladder. So coming to the manual QA tester, depending on the experience, the entry level they get around 45K to 82K, and data engineers, depending on the experience, they go up to 50 to 200 and 200 plus K basically. So this is the job ladder. I'll break that down later. Let me show you what that means. So if we take three categories, so category 1 is data engineering, and category 2 is data testers, which are called ETL testers and mostly manual testers, and category 3 is again ETL and data testers but automated testing skills. So data engineering, if you see, 1 to 2 years people is earning around 45,000 pounds, depending on the location. You are in central London or across London, so it varies. And 3 to 5 years around 60K, 6 to 10 years around 75K. This is the minimal figure, but depending on the company and situation, they offer lower, more. And in India, it's around 8 lakhs per annum for entry level, and mid-level experience around 18 lakhs per annum. And if you have more experience, it goes to 35 lakhs. Then 11 to 15, it goes up to around 50 lakhs per annum. So that's data engineering. Then come to manual testing job. Let's get to Indian salary. So it's around 5 lakhs for entry level. Mid entry level, it goes a little bit more, around 8 lakhs. Then here the salary jumps to 14 lakhs, 6 to 10 years. Then 11 to 15 years, it goes to 20 lakhs. Same way in UK for various bands. You can have a look. And for automation, there is a reward for automating the pipeline testing, the ETL and data testing basically. So in India, the entry level to up to 15 years experience, this is the kind of salary range. This is as of 2026, 2027, but depending on market inflation and all, this will go high. And in UK, London area, of course, you have more than this salary, but outside London, pretty much you can expect this salary. Okay, so that's pretty much the salary range. Let's come back to our original slide. Job ladder we have covered, and specialist and niche roles. Okay, there are various roles in data engineering projects. You have BA, which is business analyst, you have data analyst, you have ETL testers, both manual and automated. And the niche job is the thing who can do the data pipeline testing, the batch, as well as API, as well as the streaming. So they are very highly paid and they are very skilled jobs. So this is the niche jobs here. So just think the data engineering or the data pipeline aspects in the market producing so many jobs. Data analyst, business analyst, DevSecOps, ETL, manual tester, automation tester, all those, so on and so forth. Okay. Towards the end of the demo, I'll send you the links and the slides. You can find as well as in the chat, or you remind me in the WhatsApp. I'll share all those links from where the data came, as well as any roles and responsibilities which if you are trying for entry-level jobs. Entrepreneurship or freelancing. So the data skills doesn't only limit to jobs. You can package your ETL and testing skills and make up a training session. So you can train people and earn rewards there. Or you can do freelancing. You can go to various platforms and advertise your skills, and people will contact you for engineering, architect, and drawing the dashboards which comes from the target platform, and the testing jobs as well. You can do freelancing there. So normal 9 to 5 job which you are dedicated and yearly paid, and you can do a freelancing consulting, or you can do a training, classroom training or online training, or you can do a entrepreneurship as well with co-founding with your various partners. You can do a data entrepreneur. So now in the AI world, it opens up more and more opportunity for data. Yes, this is the last slide. So skill pack, what it needs to be a data engineer or a manual tester or automation tester. So don't do mistakes of jumping to various data platforms and start learning and getting confused and getting to AI and simply downloading or asking the job related questions and seeing the JD. It doesn't make sense. Even if you are taking any LLM or AI help, drive it from the start and make the context clear what position you are in and what you want to learn. So for an entry level position, these are the skills is must. You must know Python or Java, but Java is definitely used for data, but it is more for application and microservices. But Python is heavily used for data. SQL is heavily used, and there are no SQL also. But if you know SQL, if you just know normal ANSI SQL, it will help you to understand NoSQL databases also. And you have to know JSON and YAML structure. Then Linux is the backbone of our data pipeline. So more than 90% data pipelines and platforms, they are running on Linux. You have to know. Then before getting into Spark, get your head clear around the Hadoop system. Then you see how the Spark comes into play. Then data streaming part is almost every company is using nowadays. Don't ignore that. That is Kafka. Okay, that you must at least know one streaming system. There are other streaming system also. You can know, like Pulsar is there. Then analytics system is something called Flink is there. Okay, so that's it. Let me see if we got any questions on the other screen. Okay, so give me a couple of seconds. Let me open up the screen. Yeah, so the first question is from Arun. What is it? What is ETL and ELT? Okay, so that's let me cover that. Okay, here. Okay, what's the difference between ETL and ELT? Okay, so let's go back to 20-30 years in the IT industry, when there were data, but there were not much data because there were no IoT apps or AI that in that area. So bringing those data and doing a bit of transformation here, or enriching the data and putting into target platform, this was the pattern. So what that means is extract, which is E, then transform, which is T here, then load. So ETL used to be the process. It used to be the go to the process. Even now it is also go to the process, where this pattern is still there. You bring the data from the source, transform it, and load it. But as when the data started growing, setting up the ETL pipeline became a little bit harder and difficult. So what the engineers or the pattern people started adopting is extract, then load it. So when you are loading the data into a system, that is called data lake. So you bring the data and load it. So that is E and L. Then from there, you transform it to a streaming system or to an analytics system. So that is called T, transform. So extract and immediately load it because you don't have much time or scope to transform it. Then later, based on the business need or the client need, you can transform it or you can stream it where other clients or the downstream systems, they can consume it. Okay. Did that answer? Yeah. So let me know in the channel if you are looking for more information there. Okay. Thank you very much. The next question is, what is Flink and why Kafka is not used and Flink is preferred? Okay, so that's, I think the question is on streaming system here. Okay, it is not like Kafka is not used or then Flink. Okay, both are open source for your information. Apache Kafka and Apache Flink. Flink is not replacing Kafka, Flink is sitting to do some kind of intelligent operations. So what this means is, when you stream data, Kafka only knows take the data from one point to other point, and that's it. Kafka responsibility is over. Now, for example, in Amazon, customers are placing order. So Kafka takes that order and puts into the accepted order, rejected order. That's it. Kafka work is done. Now, as a company or as a business, if you want to know at one point of time, let's say today, how many iPhones were sold, or in this month, or in last week, how many orders were accepted and how many orders were returned. So all those things Kafka doesn't do, or not the right thing to do for Kafka. Kafka is only for transportation. So that is where Apache Flink comes into picture. So if you go to Apache Flink, let's see. See, it says stateful computation over data streams. So that means you still have Kafka there, but it does a stateful computation. Okay. So to get some intelligence on the fly, on the streams, Flink is used. Okay, did that answer? Yeah, so I have a YouTube channel. I will try to address all this and answer all this. Go and have a look. So that channel is, let me show you, youtube.com at ETL clips. Hopefully it should come. Yeah, that's the one. Go to the channel and have a look. Various things already answered there. Okay, I'll take the final questions. We are, I think we are close to running out of time. We have addressed everything. Yeah, my cousins have done data science and they're looking for opportunities. What should they do? Okay. Yeah, so data engineering definitely is there. That opportunity is there for everyone. But if people are from data science, they have done a lot of research on that subject and skills, it's better to get into LLM side, how to set up LLM pipelines, how to set up LLM security. There are a lot of scopes, and the data people who understands the foundation models, encoding, decoding, all those stuff, data science stuff, which is not the application layer, but the behind the scene, the backbone of the LLM world, they should get into those kind of jobs. Yeah, so that will help in their career. LLM security, AI security. Okay. Okay, thank you very much for attending the session. Yeah, I'll host this recording session